Hey, what is up, guys? So today we're going to be reviewing Network Chuck's latest video, which is the roadmap to become a hacker. So let's watch this together and yeah, I'll share my thoughts.
If you want to get started in cybersecurity or just IT in general in 2023, here's how you do it. I'm going to show you a path that if you follow, could result in a six-figure salary and faster than you might expect it. This path has 8 parts. The first 5 apply to everyone in IT. I don't care what you want to do. The last 3 will get a bit more hacking cybersecurity specific. Now, make sure you watch until the end. I'm going to give you some quiz questions for each part to see if you can skip, because you might already know the knowledge. That felt weird. We'll go with it.
Okay, so far so good. Network Chuck's videos are always really well done. I love his energy, the high speed. Not much that he shared there, but let's continue watching. I'm going to fast forward the coffee thing and any promos or commercials that pop up.
Now, and you're tempted to jump right into that study material. Stop it. No, you're not ready for it yet. There's a lot to learn before you get to that point. So don't skip this, especially if you're just starting in IT or you're transitioning from another job, because just like building a house, you want to lay a really solid foundation, a strong base of IT skills that you can build on. So again, if you're new to IT, zero knowledge. Like if someone asked you to troubleshoot their network or fix their computer, you might hyperventilate and spill your coffee everywhere. If that's you, you'll want to start with the CompTIA A+. Now this is a hotly debated topic, but I asked the IT masses and here's what they said. On YouTube,
48,000
votes,
58%.
A+. Twitter, over 5,000 votes, 40% said CompTIA A+. LinkedIn, 4,000 votes, 50% said CompTIA A+.
Okay, so yeah, the A+, right? The hotly debated. Should I start with... So I feel like every video says this, where if you want to become a pen tester, you need to know the fundamentals. You need to have a strong foundation. And that is true. You do need to have a strong foundation. How do we get that strong foundation? Is it the A+? Is the A+ really the way to go? And how helpful will that be? This is the CompTIA, okay? This is the book for the CompTIA A+ right there, okay? As you can see, it's the size of my head. It's a ginormous book. It's good for lifting weights and getting some muscle. Okay, it's a large book. So the question is, you want to become a penetration tester, do you need to know the foundations? Absolutely, you need to know the foundations. Now, the question is, how do I get the knowledge for those foundations? So is it the CompTIA A+? And the reason that I have the book is because I started studying for this, actually, because in doing all of my research, I just found out that, yeah, you know what? Hearing people say that you need the foundations makes sense. Yeah, you do need the foundations, right? How can you become a penetration tester, which is the pinnacle of information technology, if you don't have a strong foundation first, right? Like Network Chuck said, you need a foundation if you want to build a home. So how can you put the roof if you don't have a foundation, right? So, okay. But the question is it the route? And I'm talking to people who don't have any IT background, right? Or very little. People who would actually consider, who wouldn't pass the A+ without studying for it. So this is 1,400 pages. 1,400 pages, right? So, and then you have to do questions. It's 2 exams. So it's 1,400 pages of study, 2 exams. You'll have to probably get question banks and do those questions over and over again. How long would that take you to study? How long would it take you to study for it? I think that's one of the questions that you have to ask yourself. I started studying for it. I'm a slower reader than most people I see, or at least people market themselves as being really fast readers. I'm not. One of the reasons why, I guess, is that I'll read something and I'll reread it until I understand it, or I'll Google concepts and things like that. I don't read to just read, because if I read but I don't grasp it, then it's really worthless, right? I'm just doing an exercise but not gaining any of the fruit. So that is the CompTIA A plus. So the question you need to ask yourself is, how long will it take you realistically to read the 1,400 pages? Maybe you'll want to read it twice. You'll want to do the questions. You'll have to schedule and take the 2 exams and pay for those exams. Each one, let's probably say it's about $200-$300, maybe $400 for all of it. Is the A plus really necessary? So I'll argue that it's not necessary. By saying that, I'm not saying that you don't need foundations. You do need foundations. However, is the A plus the way to go? I think you're going to get a lot of good knowledge from the A plus. However, will it help you become a better pen tester? Very little of it, I think. Very little of it. I think that there's better ways of learning the foundations rather than having to go through 1,400 pages of material and do question banks and take both of these exams, which, to be honest, if you're not really interested in that kind of material, you may just get bummed out, demotivated. All motivation will just sip through holes. And by the time that you're done with this, you won't have enough gas to keep on going. But maybe getting the A plus does motivate you, and it sets, you know what, this is a good goal for me. Then go for it. I think that the dangers for getting the A plus is that it'll take you a long time. You'll lose that initial excitement of becoming a pen tester. You might be disappointed at the end. It's not going to teach you the fundamentals that you need to know on penetration testing, in my humble opinion. I started studying for this. I didn't study the whole thing, but I started studying for it. I've skimmed through the chapters to get an idea of what material it's going to teach me, and at the moment, it seemed right, but then I switched because it was taking me a huge time to study, and I really wanted to get my CISSP. I wanted to get the EJPT. Both of those I got last year, so I think that I made a good decision by not going with the A+. However, you might want to go, and that might be your route, and at the end of the day, there's no one roadmap for everybody. You're going to have to evaluate for yourself. Okay, so let's keep on watching.
But on the other hand, you actually might need the A+. Here's 2 reasons why. Number 1, it starts you from 0, assuming no prior knowledge, which for many of you means this will be an amazing course for you, even if you already have a bit of IT knowledge, because it'll fill in those gaps, the things you don't even know that you don't know, right? And it will show you things about IT that maybe you weren't aware of. I've said this many times in the past, the A+ is like a sample platter for IT. If you're just starting out, you may not know what you want to do. There's a lot of paths you can take.
Okay, again, right? He makes a really good point that by studying for the A+, you might you're going to dabble into different domains within information technology, like networking and virtual technologies and operating systems, etc. And that may give you that may help direct your path to what you want to follow in IT. But this is not a video for people who want to get into IT and find out what they want to do. This is a video on how to become a hacker. So, yeah, I don't think that the A+ is going to help you if you want to become a hacker. However, like he said, if you're just getting into IT and you want to get a very broad-based knowledge of everything, and you don't have a route for you, you don't have a destination for you yet, then yeah, I think that the A+ may help you there.
Now, reason number 2 you might need the A+ is that it will help you land that first job. Because odds are, your first job is not going to be hacker or network engineer or cloud engineer. No, you're going to be like technical support. You're going to be on a help desk. And it's this certification, the A+, that will prepare you for that role.
Okay, the second point he makes here for the A+ is that this is the certification that's going to help you get that first role, which is IT help desk. That's a myth. You don't need to go through IT help desk and then become a system administrator and then go into networking and then into cybersecurity and into a hacker. That is a possible route. However, it is a very long route. It's going to be a painful route. You're going to be paid peanuts, at least until you probably become a network engineer. And that's going to be a lot of years. If you know that you want to be a penetration tester now, is that the best route? And is that the most effective route, right? So these are the questions that you have to be asking yourself and consider, is this good for you? Not IT help desk jobs are going to help you, are not going to give you the same level of exposure. In IT help desk, you're not going to be doing networking stuff. You're going to be doing very basic stuff. You're going to be resetting passwords. Okay, you're going to be unlocking accounts. You're going to be installing Microsoft Visio, Notepad++, and remoting in to a user's computer. And this is not to make fun of IT help desk. I'm just saying, let's be realistic to what you will most likely be exposed to and how much of doing that will actually help you. Now, I still believe you're not going to go from zero to hero. You're going to become a penetration tester, and it's going to take a lot of time and experience, and you will need foundational knowledge. The question is, and the trick is, where are you going to get that foundational knowledge, right? So if you want to learn about networking, then perhaps building a lab, right? Some sort of lab, building these systems and hacking into them, that's what's going to help you. There's multiple ways of getting the foundational knowledge, and I think that by creating little projects for yourself and then posting that, I think that would be really cool. And it's actually going to teach you a lot more than studying for the A+ or working in IT help desk. But that's just me.
Part 2, or step 2, I don't know what to call them.
Okay,
I'm going
step
to call
2.
them parts. This certification will probably be one of the more valuable ones you get. This is the Security Plus from CompTIA. Now, I don't care what area of IT you aspire to be in, you need this one. The sucker's also from CompTIA, and it's resume gold. Not only will it give you a ton of foundational security knowledge that you need, it's also required by a ton of jobs, specifically government jobs. It's got that DoD 8570 compliance. So a lot of jobs don't even hire you unless you have it, or they'll make you get it when you get hired on. It's just like a required checkbox.
Yeah, so here in the United States, the DoD is the Department of Defense, and to work there, to be certified to work as a contractor for the government, either directly or via a private company, you have to have these certifications, and it really depends on what role you're assigned. It gets complicated depending on your role, your title, what you're going to be working on. Then you might need the Security Plus. Maybe you'll need more, maybe the CISSP, etc. So my thoughts are this: Security Plus, is it good? I think that you should get it. Will it help you become a hacker? Absolutely not. I probably don't really I haven't really applied much of that knowledge into, when I was learning and studying for the EJPT or doing any boxes in TryHackMe or VulnHub. But I think where it does become beneficial is when you study for the Security Plus and you understand, for example, the security triad, confidentiality, integrity, availability, it gives you a perspective. It helps you build a framework and a perspective of why do companies need security, what's important in security, and it will help you evaluate the findings that you have in your penetration test report. It'll help you risk rank them, and it will help you understand how does that affect the organization as a whole. Therefore, you'll be able to more clearly communicate why it's important for them, why is this risky, and why is it important for them to remediate it, and how it might impact not just that specific machine itself, but how it might impact the organization as a whole. So from that standpoint, I really do recommend the Security Plus.
Is networking. My stinking favorite stuff. Networking is a required skill, especially for cybersecurity. How are you going to hack something you don't understand? How are you going to defend something you don't understand? And just like the previous skills, I don't care where you're going in IT. If you know networking, that's going to make you better. It's going to make you awesome. So don't skip this. Honestly, it's kind of a superpower, so just learn it. Now for networking certifications, there are 2 options I recommend. The CompTIA Network Plus or the Cisco CCNA. Now really you can't go wrong with either.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there. He's not wrong. I think that networking is important. To be quite honest with you, I don't know how much of that information that you're going to learn there will actually help you when you're trying to pivot and during the post-exploitation phase. I don't know how much is going to help when you're going to be, if you find port 161 or SNMP open, right? I don't know how much you actually need to know about it to be able to exploit it, to understand what information to get from it, and how to apply that later on to go ahead and be able to exploit further down the line. So I think that a lot of courses now like the EJPT does a really good job in giving you a little bit of background, some information that you need to understand the immediate concepts. And at the end of the day, you can always do research as you're encountering things. You can research things right then and there to get a better idea and to learn it. And I think that that's what it's all about. So I don't think that the Network Plus is necessary. I mean, come on. Let's, go on your LinkedIn and look at people who are already penetration testers and see how many of them actually have the A+. How many of them have the Security Plus? How many of them have the Network Plus or the CCNA? I don't think I've seen one. Okay, maybe one. Maybe one. And that's about it. Every other person has gone directly. They've started with Try Hack Me, Hack the Box, maybe EJPT. They've gotten that, moved on to the OSCP, and they have just done fine. I think that at the end of the day, to become a penetration tester, you're gonna have to do, even once you get your OSCP or you get all offensive security certifications available out there, beyond the brand, not just offensive security company, but in the domain of offensive security. You'll still have to do research because you're going to encounter, there aren't enough certifications in the world that will prepare you for every single scenario, for every single technology. They're just going to introduce you, and really one of the skills that you need to learn and master in penetration testing is to doing research right then and there, understand a concept and how to exploit something right then and there, which sounds incredibly challenging and it sounds very intimidating. I know. So do I think you need the Network Plus or the CCNA? No, I don't think so. I think that out of these 4 certifications here on the screen, the Security Plus is the one to get. But if you don't want to get it and you want to skip it, I think that you can do so.
Part 4, Linux. Everyone needs to learn Linux. I've made videos about it. I've made a course about it. Linux is what you need to know in IT. Wherever you are, I don't care, learn Linux. Now, as far as how you learn Linux, you have a few options. You could go the certification route. Go with the Linux Plus. I got that certification. It was a really fun exam. I learned a ton. But honestly, you could probably skip getting this certification. Don't get me wrong. It'll look great on your resume. It will. But it isn't one of those certifications like the Network Plus, CCNA, A+, Security Plus, that's gonna really make your resume be sold to your recruiter. This one is more about the knowledge.
Okay, yeah, so Linux, right? Yeah, Linux is definitely one of those things that you need to learn. I mean, let's just put it this way. I just feel that I'm just giving you my tips because this is what so far there's nothing different to what I have read, heard, watched in the past. A lot of people telling you, hey, you need the foundations and this is the way to get the foundations. I agree that we need the foundations, but there's multiple ways of getting them. And this path right here is going to take you ages. And let's say that you're already working. So you're not going to be able to study 8 hours a day. How long will it take you? This is going to take you years, right? And then let's say that you get all of these, and then you're just going to start to dabble with penetration testing tools, methodologies, and all of these things. So it's really up to you. I wouldn't recommend this path, but I respect it. I think that it is a path that can get you there. It's just going to take a lot longer. And time is valuable. So I think that you can start getting the same. I would probably start with Try Hack Me. I would start with a complete beginner, right? It's going to give you basic Linux, web app, network security, scripting challenges, privilege escalation. It's going to introduce you to these concepts. It's going to introduce you to these skills. Then after that, you can then navigate to, where is it? Maybe the pre-security. You can also do the pre-security if you want. You can do the introduction to cybersecurity. Let's see. You can do the web fundamentals. You can do the CompTIA. Well, no, before that one, I'd probably go to the junior penetration tester. Maybe then to the CompTIA Pentest Plus. And where are you? The offensive security, the offensive pen testing. And yeah, I think that doing all of those, you're going to get a really good foundation. It's not going to break the bank. Try Hackmey is only like $10 a month, and you'll start to get a really good foundation on all of these things for cheap in a small period of time. I didn't do it that way. I've been here and there, and I'm working on a ton of cybersecurity certifications. It just really depends what you want. So let's move on.
Cloud, and yes, hacking. For yourself is pick up a programming language and start to play with it, start to learn it. For starting out, I would recommend Python or Golang. I think Python will be a bit easier to get started, but Golang is the new, faster up-and-comer. Now, honestly, I don't like where I put coding on this roadmap. I put it at 5 because you'll probably have a better time with coding once you know all of this other stuff, but really, coding should be way up here. But you're like, wait, what, Chuck? I should start coding like right now? Yeah, right now. Coding is one of those things that you're going to use throughout your entire IT journey, and the more you know, the better you are. So my recommendation is just at some point early in your journey, it could be right now, just start to become familiar with some sort of coding language. I would recommend Python. Just start playing with it. You really don't need any prerequisite knowledge to start playing with Python.
Yeah, I disagree with this. I disagree with trying to learn coding right away, especially if you have absolutely no knowledge of IT. Coding is going to blow the top off of your head, and it's just going to... Listen, the way there's a saying here that the way to eat an elephant, I don't know why you would eat an elephant, but it goes, the way to eat an elephant is one small bite at a time. And the lesson of that saying is that just take small bites that are manageable, that fit in your mouth, and by doing it consistently and every day, you will be able to finish an entire elephant, which you will not be able to eat in one sitting. You will not be able to eat in huge chunks of meat. But if you're able to cut it and eat it little piece by piece and be consistent, you will finish an entire elephant. And that is the lesson here as well. The elephant is the knowledge necessary to become a solid penetration tester. And you don't want to put more meat in your mouth than you're able to chew on, right? So start with Try Hackmey, do that. Leave coding last. I totally agree that you need coding experience. I think that coding is what's actually going to make you a hacker from a penetration tester. And the way that I differentiate the two is that a hacker is able to build his own tools. A hacker is able to build his own tools, to code it in Python or whatever else. A hacker is able to reverse engineer DLLs and things like that. A hacker is able to understand code, write his own tools, and that's what's going to get you to the pro levels. Like, that is necessary. So coding is necessary. I just don't think you should introduce it so early in your journey. Now, I think that the only place I would argue where you should is that if you're looking to go to college. If you're looking to go to college and study 4 years, or maybe you're looking to get a master's, instead of getting it in, I don't know, cybersecurity or whatever else, I would probably get it in software engineering. I would study to be a software engineer and then do all of the cybersecurity certifications and training with a solid foundation in software engineering and coding. I think that would be bomb. However, I would only tell people to do that if you're already planning to go to college. If you're not planning to go to college, I don't think that you need to spend 4 or 5 years in college and all tens of thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars just to learn coding and software engineering. You can do that with Udemy courses. You can do that for free online, rather. So definitely don't get in all that debt. But I'm talking to people who have already made up their mind and want to pursue something in college and they just don't know what. I would probably say software engineering, so that you can be a bomb hacker when after you graduate and get some offensive security certifications or penetration testing certifications.
Part 6, just start hacking. Just start doing it. Now again, this is another thing where I don't like where I put it. Because similar to coding, starting to hack, just to play around with hacking and the idea of it and doing beginner level things, should start pretty early in your journey. Now I'll put it at part 6 because all that knowledge you'll gain, Linux, networking, basic IT stuff, programming, will help you really be a boss at these CTF things. Now, if you don't know what a CTF is, it stands for Capture the Flag, but it's basically a chance for you to practice hacking on real targets, real vulnerable targets. Like, no joke, like you learn how to hack something and then you get to hack that thing. But it's challenging. So similar to coding, I would get into your car. As you're going down our little roadmap, our path here, whenever you got to take a bathroom break, get a snack or whatever, take a few days out of the week and try a few CTFs. Most of them are amazing and free. Like we have Pico CTF.
Yeah, okay. So I don't know if you got that last part, but basically what he's saying is that as you're in this roadmap, start introducing, well, what he said before, right? Start introducing coding. So study for the A+, introduce coding, and now he's saying introduce CTFs or capture the flag. Introduce try hack me in here, hack the box, Pico CTF. Start doing that. What do we say? How do we eat an elephant? One small bite at a time. So what you want to do is, I see this many people doing it, and I've done it myself, and I still fall for it sometimes, right? You get excited and you want to learn all these different things, and then you never accomplish anything. The years gone by, you look back and you're like, what do I have to show for it, right? Sure, you have learned, etc., but it's not the most efficient way, and humans are not built that way. We're built to be most effective and to gain knowledge most effectively when we focus on one thing. So I would say either do the CTFs and just focus on doing CTFs and give yourself, I'm going to do these number of boxes, or I'm going to do it for this amount of time, and I'm just going to focus on that in that period. Or if you decide to go for a certification, just study that certification, focus on it, understand it, pass the exam, kick some butt, and then move on to the next thing, whether it's CTFs or something else. So, I don't like this. I do not agree. I've done this, okay? And that's the thing. I have done this. So, when I left my job in June of 2021, I was studying full time from then to May of 2022, so about a year or so, and I was studying for the CISSP. I was doing courses on Pentester Academy. I was doing some of their attack defense labs. I did a little try hack me, the advent of cybersecurity for Christmas. What else did I do? I did a little Vuln Hub. I was doing a little coding. I was doing a little over-the-wire exercises to learn Linux. And then I look back and I'm like, what did I actually accomplish and how much did I actually learn? Because to learn, you need to build that layer, do something. You're only going to extract a little piece of knowledge out of it, then do it again. You're going to extract more, then do it again. You're going to understand a lot more now, so on and so forth. So my suggestion to you is just focus on whatever your immediate goal is and work as hard as possible to get that done. And that goes to me too. But doing this here where you're studying for the Security Plus and you're doing a little CTF and you're doing coding, I mean, how much time do you actually have in the week to study, and how much time would you dedicate to each? And does that leave you with like 2 hours for each one or 3 hours for each one? Is that really enough to reach your goals? So keep that in mind.
Now we're talking about some more official knowledge, a certification that could help you actually land a job doing hacking things. So part 7, hacking certifications. There are 2 that I recommend you starting with. You don't have to do both. One or the other will be fine. And that's the CompTIA Pentest Plus or the EJPT from INE.
All right, so now he moves on to hacking certs, and I do like the 2 certs that he presents there. I think that both of them are beginner certs. Now, if you had to choose, do you need to do both of them? I would say don't do both of them. Save your money. The one that I would suggest you take is the EJPT. And I make so many videos about EJPT, and I talk about it so much, you guys will probably be thinking, is this guy paid by INE to sponsor EJPT? And the answer is no. I've never even talked to them. I just like the EJPT because I wish I would have started there sooner. In 2021, I wish I would have started there. I think that would have helped me. I would have gotten it much sooner, and I think I would have been a lot farther than I am right now. But lesson learned. But what I can do is share that with you. So I'd say the EJPT for two reasons. One, the EJPT, they've just released their new course, and it's so comprehensive. It's what was it? It's like 144 hours long. It's got tons of labs. It's really good. It's videos. They have Alexei from Hackersploit teaching it, who's a great teacher. You have Josh. And they did a really good job in running you through the material. And then they'll teach you a material, and what I really like is that after that, you'll get a lab to practice what you just learned. And that's really going to help you solidify what you learned. And what you can do is after you're done with everything, you do the labs again. And they cover a ton of material. Is it the end-all, be-all? No, it's not. Is it going to make you a penetration tester? No, it's not. I hear a lot of people complain that, oh, the EJPT doesn't even talk about Active Directory. Well, the EJPT is the junior penetration tester. It's not a red teamer certification. Red team and penetration testing are different. Red team is about gaining a way into a corporation. And they might not even need to hack anything to get in. They might just need to social engineer their way in and then pivot. So there might not even be a exploitation phase. And when I say exploitation phase, from our standpoint of, okay, we're going to get in through a web server or an FTP server and then work our way in. That's what I mean. Something is getting exploited, and that is the human factor here. But so they're completely different. And then to pivot inside of the network, you'll need to know Active Directory skills. However, you don't really need Active Directory skills to be a penetration tester. A penetration tester is more like a security auditor. Hey, here's this technology. See if there's any vulnerabilities. Manually test it, right? It's a step above vulnerability scanners. Vulnerability scanners don't have the same creativity, don't go as deep, cannot make the same kind of judgments and decisions, and they're not creative like the human being is. So that's what you're going to be testing. You might get a job at a corporation that's going to tell you, hey, welcome, penetration tester. We have these systems that are going to come in online in the next month or so. We're in the process of coding these modules. Here's the first module. Do we have any vulnerabilities? And you focus on that. Or, yeah, you'll just test different technologies. Or you might do a red team exercise within there. But that's more advanced. That's later on. And so I believe that the EJPT covers the things that you want to know as a junior penetration tester, which is enough knowledge for you to become a vulnerability management analyst, which I think is a great roadmap to go. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm vulnerability management. I'm gaining a lot of experience, and I have seen the I have applied a lot of the info learned on the EJPT at my job. So why EJPT and not Pentest Plus? Not that the Pentest Plus is bad, but first of all, the Pentest Plus is going to come in a book like this. You're going to study by getting a book. What the Pentest Plus does really well is that it's going to give you a lot of high-level information that you need to know aside from the hacking portion, right? The legal terms, the legality of things, the paperwork, how to work with clients, compliance, all of these things, on top of knowledge on tools and all of those things. So it is good from that perspective. But the Pentest Plus is also going to, well, I guess the other reason why the EJPT over the Pentest Plus is that the exam for the Pentest Plus is multiple choice. Okay, it's multiple choice, and they do have simulations, but their simulations, I haven't taken it, right? But from what I understand, their simulations are drag and drop. Okay, and that's not hacking. So what you really want to do is you want to get hands on the keyboard. That's what's exciting. That's what's cool, and that's how you learn, by doing it. So out of these two, I would say if you want to take both, take both. It's up to you. But I would recommend take the EJPT, no doubt. I don't think that you'll regret starting there.
And then from there, I think you're ready. You're ready for part 8. Part 8 is the OSCP. And actually, I'm calling this part Stop Here. I'll explain why here in a second. The OSCP is hard. It's gonna kick your butt. And when you actually complete it, it'll be probably the first time you feel like a real hacker. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't done it yet. No, I wouldn't attempt the OSCP until you've tried the Pentest Plus or EJPT, because it gives you a similar feel for it. But once you're ready, go for the OSCP, but stop there. Now the OSCP, which is the Offensive Security Certified Professional.
Okay, cool. Yeah. The OSCP, listen, there are a lot of up-and-comers. There are a lot of certifications for penetration testers, or to become a penetration tester. There are a lot, and there are a lot of good ones. But OSCP still reigns, is still king here in 2023. That may change later on, but as of today, OSCP is the certification to aim at if you want to become a penetration tester and you want to get a job. Does that mean you will know everything and that you are a hacker and everyone who doesn't have it must respect you and that your peers must respect you? No, you need experience. The OSCP is a beginner cert in penetration testing. But wait, isn't the GPT a beginner cert? Yes, it is. But remember that penetration testing, you can go so high with this. I mean, you can, like, real-time hackers, I mean, the things that they can do, the creativity that they apply, the things that they are able to code and decode and reverse engineer is amazing. The OSCP is not going to teach you all of that. The OSCP is just going to give you enough information so that you can probably start at a job with the skills that you need. The rubber can hit the road, and you don't have to be trained up from zero. Nevertheless, you're going to learn a ton at your job, and you're still going to need support from your peers until you get, maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years of experience, probably a couple of years of experience, and then you become a lot stronger in hacking. So now I would say that from the EJPT, at least this is how I'm doing it. From the EJPT, which I passed last year, woohoo! I'm doing the PMPT right now, and then I'm considering taking the CPTS from Hack the Box. I hear it is monstrous, meaning it is really long. It's got a ton of material, but it looks good. And what I like about that one is that it seems that every module that you learn, you're going to be hacking Hack the Boxes, and it just seems really structured, has a lot of good information, and I think that it's going to provide a lot of value. After that, I plan to take the ECPPT, which is the eLearn Security equivalent to the OSCP, and then the OSCP in 2024. So that is my route. I don't think that the EJPT is going to prepare you for the OSCP. I think that by jumping from the EJPT to the OSCP, you're actually going to be doing yourself some harm, because remember, the OSCP, unless you're getting the annual subscription, you're only going to have 90 days to study for a ton of material. They don't handhold you, okay? Which I totally understand, and I don't mind at all. They don't handhold you, and it's hard. It's hard. Everybody talks about it. You only get 48 hours. Most people lack sleep. They binge on energy drinks. They get super stressed out. They don't eat. They don't exercise. And then they don't pass the exam. A lot of people don't pass this exam. And then that's $1,500 or whatever it costs now down the drain. And then you're going to have to pay that again to study for it and to take the exam. So I think that do yourself a favor and work your way up there. Unless, you want to go for it. You feel prepared after the EJPT, because trust me, you're going to be feeling good. You're going to be feeling like a hacker. and we're not. We're nothing but noobs here. And even when you get the OSCP, you're still a noob, and I will still be a noob. So yeah, just consider that. Maybe you want to do EJPT, 1 or 2 other certs, and then tackle the OSCP. Because the way that I want to take the OSCP is that I sit down there. I know I'm very confident on what I'm doing, and I'm going to do it like if it's a professional engagement. I'm going to run through it, document it, go through my methodology, find everything I need to find, and it's going to be easy peasy, nice and smooth, right? As smooth as possible. Okay, one more thing. He says, get the OSCP and then stop here. What does he mean? Don't get other certs. Get a job and practice and gain experience, and that's what's really going to help you. And I think he nails it there. I think that that's such good advice that I will actually take as well. That once I get the OSCP, I'm going to work on getting a job and then learn as much as I can and not really focus on other certifications. I'm just going to focus on learning, hands-on experience, real experience, and then go ahead and maybe after a year or so start moving on to getting other certifications. So I really like that advice. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found this video helpful. Sorry that it's kind of long, but anyways, I think that there's really important information here, and I'm just sharing from my experience to you. It doesn't mean that I am right. I'm just sharing what I wish I would have done, and I'm sharing now that I'm here a year later, over a year later, in the beginning of my journey, what I would do different and how I see things now. So hopefully it helps you, it saves you some time, and it helps you achieve your goals. Anyways, nice talking to you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.